While Dormouse definitely has a cult classic vibe to it, unfortunately it's missing that one special thing that could keep you talking about it over and over again and really spreading the word. Mouse lives a rather simple life. She gets up, has coffee, smokes, works on her comic, goes to mama's bar, dances there for tips, or else deals in some BDSM, drinks, hangs out with Riz, Ugly, Doe Eyes, Eddie, and her boss mama, goes home, and repeat. But with her friend Doe Eyes disappearing in a coffee tasting bag one morning, this causes a shift in her routine and it throws everything off. So, to right the wrongs of her life, Mouse becomes an amateur detective alongside Ugly, and they start investigating the underbelly of their area, which includes a pimp named Crawdaddy and also Mouse interacting with her drug dealing ex named Mooney, all in the hopes of finding and hopefully saving Doe Eyes. But as things go bad to worse, and it's not just Doe Eyes who disappears, there becomes a reason for Mouse to think, if not other people, that maybe she's getting a little bit in over her head and maybe it may be time to leave well enough alone because she's starting to rattle the hornet's nest a little bit too much. The first highlight when it comes to Dormouse is the animation used. This shows not only Mouse's art style, but I also would say it kind of shakes things up a bit, but not in a way that feels cheap, like, some shocking visuals, but it presents something artistic. It presents something that's actually useful in the storytelling, which, when it comes to Dormouse, is something it kind of struggles with. So every time the animation pops up, it's definitely a gift, which helps you stay engaged and interested in what's going on. With that said, though, I would say most of the characters feel distinct, and you do have some interest in their relationships. Because, yes, Mama, Riz, and Mouse have very much anti capitalist views, but each one kind of take a different approach to it so that they can stand out. For example, Mouse is the only black one amongst them, so as much as she is anti capitalist, she also recognizes the destruction of the system is not going to be good for people who look like her. Mama came from the punk era, so her anti capitalist views are very much anti establishment and I wouldn't say all out anarchy, but definitely the kind of shift where there's going to be chaos involved. And then as for Riz, as shown us through her conversations with Eddie, it seems she has a more academic or well-informed opinion on anti-capitalist views, and it allows each one to have something that keeps them distinct in a way that allows you to understand if you just read a single line, that's something that Riz would say, that's something that Mom would say, or that's something that Mouse would say. Which leads to the on the fence topic, which is, while we do have interesting characters, when it comes to their motivation, when it comes to having a proper villain, when it comes to just having a story that could really keep you engaged, Dormouse kind of struggles a bit. For first and foremost, when it comes to Doe Eyes, nothing is really said about her that makes you think this is somebody who Mouse would definitely risk her life for. Because Doe Eyes is just made to be a nice, simple girl. She isn't made to be somebody that saved Mouse from being homeless, who maybe helped her get out of her relationship with Mooney or anything like that. She's just somebody who's part of her job, her co-worker who she probably doesn't even see outside of work. So with that, it kind of makes what's supposed to be the overarching storyline of the whole movie kind of a problem. But to add on to that, you don't get a notable villain. You don't get some kind of femme fatale to make this neo-noir really feel complete. Because yes, you have people like Mooney, you have Crawdaddy, and even a woman named the Dame, but none of them have that special thing that makes them like really notable villains. And in terms of a potential femme fatale, it seems rather than have one woman who could be very iconic, have all those good lines, the look and everything, they kind of spread that around amongst each woman. And because they dilute what could be a great one character amongst 3 or 4, you don't really get somebody who has that oomph to really like elevate this film. And because everybody is decent or good but not great, it makes it so Nothing compensates for the story not being good. Nothing compensates for not having a good villain. You just get something that is good enough, which becomes eventually a problem as time goes on. Overall, Dormouse could be considered a hidden gem, but what holds it back is that it decides to spread itself too thin in terms of instead of having one quality femme fatale, it spreads it across multiple characters, everything you expect that one iconic character to have. And at the same time, rather than have one good quality villain, it spreads across over multiple villains who this one person could have been to really drive the story home. And really, the only time it ever does something that's singular in terms of Doe Eyes, who's is the catalyst for everything, that's where they dropped the ball by not making Doe Eyes really the kind of character you can see a mouse go through all of this in order to possibly save her.